Will the economy as a whole be in the worst state ever after this global pandemic? Before we start, I would want you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Entrepreneur Central. The COVID-19 pandemic is inflicting high and rising human costs worldwide, and the necessary protection measures are severely impacting economic activity. As a result of the pandemic, the global economy is projected to contract sharply by 3% in 2020, much worse than during the 28-29 financial crisis. In a baseline scenario that assumes that the pandemic fades in the second half of 2020 and containment efforts can be gradually unwound, the global economy is projected to grow by 5.8% in 2021 as economic activity normalizes. Here comes the biggest question: will the economy as a whole be in the worst state ever after this global pandemic? Well, let's find out. Number 1. Recession. First, the global economy is already experiencing a sudden significant downturn. The initial supply chain problems from China will likely be multiplied as other countries experience outbreaks of the disease. US producers have not yet felt the full impact of China's shutdown, but the next few months may see significant interruptions of activity related to breaks in the global supply chain. Second, the global decline in commodity prices, particularly oil prices, will likely reduce investment spending in the United States. Mining, mainly oil and gas extraction, accounted for 5% of private investment spending in 2018, the last year available. The oil price war between Russia and Saudi Arabia will probably drive investment in this sector down substantially, reducing demand for manufactured goods such as pipes and machinery. Number 2. Unemployment. Economy during the crisis, and even after, is predicted to be in its worst phase. Talking about some third world countries like Pakistan, in addition to severe human cost, its economy that was already suffering now has become worse. Due to the social distancing factors, all business and working in the country have already been shut, thus cutting all the money-making measures. Meanwhile, a $7.5 billion relief has been into the favor of Pakistan, but both the central and provincial government is failing to come up with a solution to put a pause on the daily rising cases. Pakistan really needs to, as the situation stands, much more will be needed for Pakistan to effectively address the crisis. This pandemic has affected around 190 plus countries and badly turned down their economy. The situation is getting worse with each passing day, so we can already assume it will be in its worst state after this ends, which does not seem to be near. It is also known that global trade will fall by 13% to 32%, depending on the depth and the extent of the economic downturn. The full impact cannot be predicted until the pandemic gets on its peak. In all the countries, developed countries had already taken their steps to control their loss. Number 3. Inflation. The economic situation remains highly fluid. It cannot be correctly predicted that when this pandemic will be over, so proper decision making cannot be done. The greatest impact of the containment restriction will be on retail and wholesale trade and in professional and real estate services, although there are notable differences between countries. Business closures could reduce economic output in advance and major emerging economies by 15% or more. Other emerging economies could experience a decline in output of 25%. Countries dependent on tourism could be affected more severely, where countries with large agriculture and mining sectors could experience less severe effects in the future. The prices are rising for every good overall, and people are already panicked. The government of third world countries has already planned to provide their lower class and their daily wages with basic necessities and sum of money so that they don't suffer terribly. As almost every country has been shut down or locked down, even the local trade is affected negatively and has caused a big loss even for the local businesses and retailers. People have already been made redundant, and the rate of unemployment is increasingly rapidly all over. It's estimated that the global economy will shrink further in the year and in 2021 as well. Number 4. Predictions. While there's no way to tell exactly what the economic damage from the global COVID-19 will be, there's widespread agreement among the economists that it will have severe negative impacts on the global economy. Early estimates predicted that should the virus become a global pandemic, most major economies will lose at least 12.4% of value of their gross domestic product over 2020, leading economists to already reduce their 2020 forecast of global economic growth down from around 3.0% to 2.4%. To put this number in perspective, global GDP was estimated at around 86.6 trillion US dollars in 2019. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you never miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos on your screen because I'm sure you love them. With that, I will see you in the next video.